Let me ask a question. Have you ever dealt with maintenance?
Doing tech?
Yes. As a luthier, it was always construction, really.
No, always construction. I do it for my friends. My users like that, I do tech for them. But it's not our thing.
Got it. It's because I always have a classic question that I ask luthiers here, which is an instrument that disappointed and an instrument that surprised.
I love that question. What's yours? Question. Rephrase.
No, so for you to talk about the instrument that surprised you, that you didn't have high expectations for, or maybe an instrument that's cheap, that people speak poorly of, and you...
What language do I have?
Go ahead.
On the tip of my tongue, Mateus. Remember the guitar.
Man, seriously, really?
Seriously? Damn. I redid its electronics completely. Changed the neck. It turned out awesome. I changed the neck, put a neck from Lion, but its neck was bad. It was a horrible neck, but then you had to do a lot. Put in some work like that. Man, like that, there are guitars, and that's right. Take one. If you want to take a tonante, make it better. You can make it about 80%. A little better than it is. Because its construction is already compromised.
But there are some guitars that people occasionally bring here. Sorry, you were talking about Tonin, for example.
No, that's a different story.
Occasionally people come and, wow, my brother, there's a specific model, which was a wonderful series.
Guys, I'm going to speak here from personal experience. A guitar is good when it's well set up. You get sound from a guitar when it's well set up. There are guitars, man, that you pick up, and the guy says, wow, this guitar is crap. Then you see, wow, the neck is bent, the fretboard is twisted. These things won't work. Sound, for sure. But a guitar, if it's in shape, man, if it goes through the tech, has the bridge adjusted, even if it's not all high quality, if it's set up, it will deliver something, you know? So that's why it's important, right? The tech guys will thank me now. The barrel is a goose. But that's what's important, to always have your instrument well set up. Know the right type of string to use. When changing the string, check if the nut is really for that string. You understand these details, small details. Tuning peg, put the string correctly on the tuning peg. You understand? You know, like, take care of the electrical part. Open it up a bit, you know. So, like, well adjusted. Guitars deliver. If you take a Fender, man, that's all out of tune. Damn, there's a Tajima that will outperform it. Like, or any other type of guitar that's not so like that, right?
What you're indeed saying is that there's a lot of mysterious allure. That for a guitar to be good, it certainly needs to have a lot of unique features.
Yeah, man.
And that's not it, right?
Man, like, go on. Damn. If you take Jimi Hendrix and say to him, look, this guitar here is a piece of junk. I want to see you make a sound. He'll say, well, can I adjust it? That's the first thing he'll say, I'm sure. You understand? If you take a great guitarist, he'll say, okay, I accept the challenge, but can I adjust the guitar? Maybe it won't sound like a wonderful Fender, like a Gibson later on. But it will get close, you know? Then only being a Gibson itself, but like the guy who's worried about this and doesn't have money, man, take it easy. Make a good adjustment. On your guitar, man, make a good adjustment, tune the octaves, check if your neck isn't warped, see if it's working. Your truss rod, you understand? Check if your string is fitting correctly in the tuning peg, you know? So, like, hydrate your fretboard, check if your frets are not misaligned. And that already makes all the difference. Man, in a guitar, you know, whether it's the best of the best from the galaxies.
It's not because we try to do the work of raising awareness on some points here, which we believe are not very widespread. Yeah. We try to bring another perspective, and many people end up feeling upset with us. Here, yes. For example, one side we're trying to address is, man, I have a guitar, man. A guitar worth more than 20,000 reais. Fender, I have Ibanez. I once had an Ibanez gem. I've had very expensive guitars. So, like, many times, When we say we have a cheaper guitar that you, with a good setup, and if it's well built, sometimes it's even an entry-level guitar, and you can make it suitable to be a professional guitar. But many people think that this is, I'm being paid by national brands to say this. No. And when I come here and say that a luthier, man, he has his place because he does specific work. When I say that many musicians today choose a luthier-made guitar instead of going out with a Gibson for 40 grand, a Fender for 30 grand, he goes, gets a luthier, makes a guitar for 12, 15,000 rays, top for him, which is the only guitar he will use in the show. The guy gets upset with me, thinking I'm being bought by the luthiers. You understand? I want to bring these perspectives here for the people.
The luthier, I would even say this to the people, the luthier is when you really know what you want, then you go to the luthier to make a guitar.
You're going to marry guitar.
Exactly, because for example, this Telecaster that I made for Caio Durazo, he never had a guitar made for him. When I'm going to make a guitar for you, I want to know how you play. We need to talk beforehand. Discuss how you play. Oh, I play like this. What do you play? Oh, I play like that. Wow. What strings do you use? Well, I need to have a chat. Then I start to understand what the person likes. You say, oh, then I already know what he wants. Oh, in my mind it already goes. I'm already assembling the guitar in my head, you know? So it's a lot about that. When the person looks for the luthier, man, they have to understand that they're going to make a guitar for themselves, you know? Like, if you take his guitar and give it to another person, maybe the person won't like it. And it's not to say that it's crap, it's just that the guitar isn't for you, man. The guitar is made for him, for the way he plays. You understand. So like if the guy likes 009, it changes everything. If the guy likes this type of top, if the guy likes a guitar with paint, it changes everything, man. You understand. So first thing, when a guy has an entry-level guitar, man, and is starting to play, if you set it up right, you already have a great instrument. Period. When you're playing for yourself, you say, I like this, I like it. I wanted another one. To understand guitars, you have to have played various types of guitars. An interesting point is different necks, and sometimes, man,
This neck thing is a mystery for those who are starting. Because sometimes you pick up a classical guitar, being used to modern guitars like Ibanez.
RG.
Has to be lower and flatter, right? And you often pick up a thick or wide neck and you think the guitar is bad. It's a horrible guitar. I picked it up there.
It depends on the person's hand.
It's a different approach. So you have to know what works for you and what doesn't.
Exactly, like when I started playing, I thought a big neck was cool. Nowadays, I don't think so much but it also changed. My playability changed, my grip from when I started, from when I used to play before and when I play now. So that can happen to you. Suddenly, you might have a guitar that you start playing with and then you start to feel something and say, man, I need a guitar more like this. Then suddenly, you put a guitar in your lap and you're like, wow, this is the one. So, I mean, you've already changed your way of playing. You've already changed your grip. So that's kind of natural. It's normal. You just have to feel it, you know? Now, the technical issue is like this, man. Come on, pick up the guitar. There are guys who pick up the guitar, buy the guitar, and don't even change the strings, man. And then what are you expecting, dude? You know, man, I want to support that string there. Since I bought the guitar, damn, then, oh my God.
There are stores that already do the work of changing the strings for the guy to adjust. Something like that, right? Yes, there's Beton. He does that. You don't need a guy like that.
Groover does that, man. They have a luthier there who sells the guitar. It's already adjusted. He already takes it to the luthier, adjusts it, and delivers it to the client because the factory is a factory. There are factories that are just factories. Factory, look, it's ready. One after the other. There's nothing. Factory, you take 30 instruments, then you go there and look at 30, one by one, and you'll say, this one isn't right.
You'll find about 2 or 3 like that. It's normal. And we also need to take the following into account, right? I play a guitar in one way. You will play in another. Mateus in yet another. Everyone has a different preference. The instrument leaves the factory with a standard setup, which is meant to be playable, not specifically for MIT, for Mateus. And besides that, we have to take into consideration, for example, I don't know, if you get a Martin that's made in the United States, then it comes here. To Brazil, the climate is different. It will change a lot. Then the person picks up the Martin to play and thinks, wow, it's not bad, man, the guitar's good. It's just that there's a climatic difference. It can come from up there up to here. Take a Taylor, which comes from Canada, where it's much colder. Then I know there you get a guitar that, well, has a factory in Indonesia. There will be this variation.
Make this adjustment to be nice, just like that. Real love, which is cool. And even more now that we are having these climatic events. Another thing, trying with the guitar, dealing with the neck, which is warping from the guitar. So guys, stay alert. Take good care of your instruments. Take good care of the instruments, because with this crazy weather we're having. A guy came over my guitar. On the neck, man, it's gonna be a pool, you know. I asked, where was this guitar? Oh, it was on my balcony, on my gourmet veranda, you know.
Basking in the sun all day.
Yeah, you know. So, like, you have to be careful, man. The wood, it reacts a lot. The wood, right? And that's why it's so cool. That's why it's so cool for instruments to be made of wood, right?
People will appreciate it when they lose an instrument and the neck warps.
Exactly. There's this issue of bringing instruments from abroad. You have to be very careful, man. You know, you're going to a country that is, well, there are some tricks, right? You take off the strings, adjust the truss rod, tighten it a bit more, raise it a little. You know it's going to warp. Yes. You go to a cold climate. Then you go to a hot climate. It will. Then you adjust it back a bit. But you can't leave it loose either. You have to keep some tension.
I have a guitar, man, with an ivory neck. That, at my house. I played it. Okay, it's tuned. Then, when there was a school performance, I played with my guitar. I wasn't going to use the school's. I took it there, but in the room, the air conditioning was on all day. When I picked up the guitar, it was already different. So I would leave the Allen key inside. I knew that when I got there, I would have to give the truss rod a little adjustment. And when I left,
I'll be able to play, but I'll have to give the truss rod another adjustment because it will be warmer. You know, man, when it comes to the truss rod, it seems like a monster, right? It seems like one. Everyone is afraid to mess with the truss rod, right? Man, it's like a truss rod. Come on, guys. I don't know better than to blow it all up. People are really afraid to mess with the truss rod, and they should be because it's delicate. It's something that, well, you can ruin the instrument. It's true.